We can continue to talk for days, for ages, over and over and over about all these questions, possible interview questions. And then they may not ask you any one of those, or they may make up a whole bunch of other questions. So, there's a lot of things that you have to remember. Hallo Afrikaners, ek hoop dit gaan goed met jou. So die heel belangrikste is, ontspan man en praat die waarheid. Moenie goed opmaak nie. Moenie liegstories vertel nie. And so tell the truth. Don't make stories up. Don't lie. And don't omit anything. So, and nobody should be asking you any money. You write your own statement of persecution and you write it well, you practice it, you articulate it. So lucky duck you are, because they will ask you, do you have a preference of a state where you want to go? Now think about it. Do you have a preference? It doesn't mean there's no guarantee that you're going to land there. Now, if you do have family, they're going to ask you, do you have family, close friends in any state? And what is their email addresses? How long have they lived there? What is their visa status? Stuff like that, Do you want to go to that state? Now, if you don't want to go to a state where your family are, say they are in the great state of Texas and you just hate heat, you just hate Texas, then you would say, hey, I have close family in Texas, but you know what? I just don't want to necessarily live close to them. I would like to be sent anywhere where you think is most appropriate. Yeah, they may ask why you don't like your family. Why don't your family like you? So maybe then you're not a good fit. I don't know. I really don't know. Just joking around, but who knows? So they will ask you your statement of persecution. You need to be able to articulate it. Remember, you don't come here for a better life. You don't come here because you can't find a job in South Africa. There's a whole lot of countries south of the United States where people are poor, disadvantaged, and have lots of trouble, can't find jobs. That's not why you come. You come here because of a well founded fear for future persecution or past persecution, torture, and fear for your life that you will be killed and the government is not protecting you, okay? And that you belong to a protected group, white minorities in South Africa, or a farmer or boer. Okay, so that's just quick. And remember, so you can ask, there is a preference to say, yeah, I want to go here or there. Then again, they will ask you your education. That's part of your biographical information, your highest education. And then, apart from everything, what is important to remember in every interview? Don't just blabber off. I'm saying that because somebody did do that. And the lady said, I'm just not hearing back from Church World Service, you know, Refugee Service Africa. She never heard back. Refugee Service Center Africa. She didn't hear back. And she wondered why. Well, number one, the interviewer is not your buddy. You don't tell just a long, wild, emotional story. That's not about it. You have to put emotion in, but you have to use the right words. You have to close the nexus. And I'm saying all this, and you have to show that you're part of the protected status, that are targeted, and that the government is not protecting you. All kinds of stuff. And if you have any kind of affidavits or any kind of newspaper articles or any evidence, police reports, you should have that. Now, they don't ask for proof in evidence and documentation, but it's good to have that. I mean, it can take you far, right? So, very important. While you are talking now, your statement is they write the information down. They may even record it. I don't know if they record it, but I know they do record it in writing. They take notes. I do know that. They take notes. So the second interview will refer to the second interview may refer to the first interview. Say, for example, I said, well, I was attacked on May 6th. So, say on May 6th in the morning, early at 5 p.m., as the sun was rising, they broke into our house. Suddenly, I heard a noise. I just heard a loud clang. And then the dogs were not barking anymore. And then I heard the glass shatter in the living room. And then I heard the footsteps. I heard the loud screaming from my daughter's room. I heard noises of struggle. My husband ran and he grabbed a weapon. He fired in the air. It was chaos. My son was screaming at the top of his voice. Okay, say that was included in my statement. We're just saying. Now, I told that very simple in the first interview, and I said I had a well-founded fear because of starting at Julie's Dilemma, working it down to my personal experience. That was my personal experience. Just that's make up. And so now in my second interview, they're going to say, okay, at what time did the attack take place? Okay, where was your husband at the time? What clothing did you have on at the time? What did you hear? Why did the dog stop barking? Okay, what color shoes did you wear? What happened to your daughter? Where was your son when this happened? Stuff like that. They're going to ask more in detail information. What color shirt did you have on? And what happened to the weapon after your husband fired it? And that's just simple questions. What it really means is they're going to do fact finding. They're going to come back to see if it is your story is credible, if it's consistent with the first, second, and third interview. That's what they are doing. And so if at any time they find that it is not consistent, then maybe you will get a letter like that other person. Now, that person that was turned down because of the statement that they gave to Amerikaners. They were turned down early in the process. That means it was not because of inconsistency. It was not because it was incredible. It's because it didn't meet the basic elements to be a refugee. And so you can look up the definition of a refugee. Asylum seeker and a refugee is the same thing, okay? It's the very same thing. So you can look up the legal definition. You just go to Google and put in USCIS, legal definition for a refugee. It's simple. Anybody can do it. Even a dumb immigrant like me can do it. So if I can do it, you can do it, okay? Because I'm no better than you. I just research the information. I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. I'm not your attorney. This channel is purely for education and entertainment and fun. You have to research all of the information for yourself. These are just questions that had been reported to me over years. And if you want to get the 100 most likely questions that you may be asked, go ahead and contact me. If you want to go on to the WhatsApp group, I ask that you support my channel. It's not a lot of dollars. Everybody is supporting everybody else. I have never asked, but, I spent so much hours. And so at least that can show me that you value my time. Thank you. So that is important. So